In this video, let's look at some shortcuts and time-saving tips that you can implement today as you're building your Squid apps. Maybe you've used some of these tricks before, and maybe some of them are new to you. If you have other Squid productivity tips, head over to our Squid community and share the wealth with other fellow Squid builders. Here's the first tip. If you have lots of fields to add to a model, skip the scrolling and clicking and instead, utilize the keyboard shortcuts. Start typing in the search, then hit Tab to navigate the results, and hit Space to select the field. You'll notice that once the field is selected, the search box is in focus again, and you can quickly add the next field. You can use common hotkeys in the App Composer for saving, previewing, undoing, and redoing. You can also use the common hotkeys to copy and paste a component or groups of components nested in a wrapper or responsive grid. A lesser-known tip is that you can use S and E keys together to expand the app elements and property panes, and the S and C keys together to collapse them. For the second tip, you can use Index to quickly access modal or sliding panel components. Since modal and sliding panel are only available from the Action framework, they are not as visible on the page canvas as other components. Other Squid builders have shared this tip with me, and I thought you may find it a time saver as well. Here's the third tip. You can double-click on a model name to quickly generate a form or a table. The generated form or table will have all the fields that you've added to the model. For the fourth tip, if you're testing out functionality or debugging, you can opt to use skip actions in the Action framework instead of removing the actions permanently. That way, you can enable the action again without having to rebuild it later. And for the final tip, use page revision to create a permanent page version that you may need to revert to later on. So before you make some major changes to your page, create a page version with a descriptive name to distinguish that version from the autosaves. And that's it for this week's video on productivity tips when building a Squid app. I hope you find it helpful, and see you next time.